Yeah, no, listen, you're right. I remember the first person to comment about your statement was Xzibit. He said, man, that's my family tree right there. Don't go out. I don't go out of my way to discourage people from expressing their opinions about hip hop, but fuck this shit. Special ed, you out of pocket. Don't make it hard for yourself. We still active, bro. And when I read that, I'm like, man, Xzibit 49 years old.
That's comedy.
Like, well, why is he saying we still active and putting out this veiled threat? Like, come on, man. Like,
yeah, that's comedy. That's not a threat to me. That's a joke.
Right. I was really just like, and
I didn't even respond
like,
because there's no need to.
Like, cut it out. Cut it out.
The only response I had was a short giggle. Like
I'm sure he's never gonna be mad at me, but he was already mad at me last I checked, so I don't really care. But my whole thing is like, yo, this is this man's opinion, and you can't say he doesn't know hip hop. He doesn't know the history of hip hop. He was there from the very beginning. He was there before really all the people that have commented about it, from Xzibit to Killer Mike to the Dog Pound to whatever. Nobody was making records as long as Special Ed has been making records. Shout out to all these guys who I know personally. Me and Killer Mike talk. Me and Daz talk. But at the end of the day, yo, you're allowed to have this opinion, and it is based on actual things. And I don't completely agree with it, but I also don't completely disagree with it. And it was interesting to see the kind of reaction from one little part from a 2.5 hour interview.
Right, exactly. They didn't take into context what my whole journey and my mission was and what I was talking about the whole time. They only took one comment and dragged it out of proportion. And then they did the same thing following up, because the Dog Pound, I've been working with them over the whole last year on unifying the East and the West Coast and stopping the violence. And this came after the shooting and killings of Nipsey and P&B Rock, and Corrupt and I talk all the time. So they even took our phone call and edited that and made that look like it was combative, when they was calling to tell me that they love me, for one, that I ain't got no problems, and that I'm with them. They was like, yo, you with us, cuz. Like, that's what they was calling to tell me. That was the crux of it. But the media took a sentence or another part of the conversation, because we was just really having a personal conversation. But Big A felt like we should organically capture this so that the streets can understand and see where we're coming from. Because we've been on FaceTime for like a year. We do these calls all the time. Like, Corrupt will call me with like 10 people on the phone. We're like, all on FaceTime. The same thing you saw was the same thing we do all the time, and we talk as men. You know what I'm saying? And nothing about that conversation was disrespectful towards me or towards them. But by the time another media outlet chop it up, it appears as if there's some discord. And it wasn't. They was calling to tell me, yo, Ed, we've been hearing the West been talking. We want to make sure you all right, and, you know what I'm saying, let you know you got love. We love you, homie. Like, that type of thing. And, you with us, you with us. Like, that's really what they were saying. Like, and it got turned upside down. So this is the whole thing about the clickbait. This is the whole thing about media. Like, when somebody wants you to click onto their stuff so they can get those numbers up, that's what they do. They'll slap on their own headline and make it into, some controversy, because controversy sells. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I didn't respond to none of that other stuff because, for one, none of those other third-party artists were even existed when this all started. And not one of them was even in NWA. So I don't even care about what they talking about. Like, they irrelevant. Period. You know what I'm saying? I care about what the actual members had to say. And I spoke with Arabian Prince. Did I speak with Yella? We communicated. I spoke with the DOC. Mm-hmm. Me and the DOC is, we tight, we good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I spoke with actual members, and then I got on JD's platform with Ice Cube. So that's where it matters to me. I don't care what no third, fourth generation fools talking about. Like, they ain't got nothing to do with me. And I'm going to tell you on a personal level, the reason why it's personable and affect me that way is because I have a nephew. He talking about cripping. I got a cousin. He talking about he a blood. You know what I'm saying? I got family members talking about, and they ain't never been to California. So they representing something they have no parts in or no origination in. And I don't mind you and your block rep your set and do what you want. That's your block though. When you start taking that to other communities and other children are being affected and killing each other over it, you know what I'm saying? We're going to speak about that. And that's what I do. I go out and I speak to children. I go to schools. I go to schools on all levels, elementary, junior high, high school. And I talk to them and I let them know what hip hop is about and what hip hop is not about. And the perspective. They out here being ultra hyper violent, ultra hypersexual. Like even the sexualization of our women. Like I'm seeing these artists come out and they're promoting promiscuity and ratchet behavior. And that's unacceptable. Like that's really unacceptable.